Welcome to Spain, Poco A Poco. Buenos dias, Tanya. How are you?
Buenos. Very good. How's it going?
It's going good. It's going good. We've been talking about the weather changing, summer's approaching, which means we have to find things to do with our kitties this summer, unless we want to just flop around the house on our tablets and devices.
I have an idea.
What is that
Indoor
idea?
museums.
Oh, who would have thought? What a great
Huh?
idea. Maybe we should do
And,
an episode about museums.
right, maybe we should. Oh, let's do it now.
Sounds like a good idea.
we have a few of the I guess I mean I don't want to insult any museum because they all have their own special things and some people might love other things more than others, but these are generally considered to be the bigger and most visited probably and this kind of thing. So we're going to do the main ones,
These are the heavy hitters. This is if you
the
have a
heavy
day or
hitters
two and you want to say, I went to the big museums of Spain, of
of
Valencia,
Spain.
of Spain.
Oh, let's just say Spain. Let's just say Spain.
Sure.
Come on.
These are the big hitters, and we're giving them to you in a easy walking tour format. That these are in the core of the city, so these are all kind of near each other. We're keeping you nearest to the old town as possible.
I will say personally, six museums in one day is probably beyond what I would do in one
Right.
day. But having said that, I know those people that do. And if you're living central, this you could do this in this order, or you could hit all of these in a few days. I mean, this is definitely like you said. I mean, I was just kidding. You could do these all in one day,
You
but
could.
I wouldn't.
No. I mean, you have to give yourself an hour in each, and 10 minutes to walk between. But you can walk to all these museums very quickly. I mean, they are
Yes,
near each other, and or if you break this up in a couple days, these museums are near all the other main sites of the old town. So you
exactly.
you see a museum, you see three sites, and you get some lunch, and then go to another museum.
It's a nice collection of sort of museums, but you need time for lunch, you need time for coffee, you need time for siesta, you need time to see friends. I mean, it's
Right,
you can't just museum. I mean, some people can, but
right.
anyway, these are beautiful, and we highly recommend them. So, would you care to start?
We're gonna start on one edge of the old town, near the gates that are the entrance to the old town, not the ones on the park, but the ones that are on that Grand Avenue. And we're gonna start with the IVAM, which is the Institut Valencia d'Art Modern, so the Modern Art Museum.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like where that avenue meets the Torria on that side of the town, and it is a beautiful structure. It's very modern, uh, but it is very, how can I say it? Stunning in the art that we actually just went there
Mm-hmm.
not too long ago, and the way it's displayed and the collection that they have is beautiful. And they have this sculpture garden of Julio Gonzalez, which are these iron sculptures that they're just breathtaking to see.
I do love a sculpture garden, I have to say. I think this one might be indoors, but it's still a sculpture garden.
It's still sculpture garden,
Let's
100%.
just call it that.
Yeah.
You can walk around the sculptures and imagine you're outdoors in a garden. I don't really I find if the sculptures are kind of arranged in more of that type of way, then I enjoy walking around them and enjoying it like that.
Hmm.
Personally, I think it's kind of nice, and you know more about the locations of all these museums, so I'm going to leave like what you just described where they all are for you to describe because
Okay.
I'm not that familiar with the city. And but it's nice to hear the surroundings, and El Carmen is a really lovely part of town. I mean, there's lots of lovely parts of town, but this is a nice area to walk around as well. If you're, and this is why I'm saying you're not going to hit all the museums in one day, because once you're in one of these areas and you start walking around, you're kind of
Right.
done for half a day.
You pretty much are. I mean, this is especially the old town core is where all the sites are and stuff. But this Jose Gonzalez, did you know? Special fun fact for everyone, he taught Pablo Picasso how to weld iron.
Weld iron, to weld iron.
Weld it, not wield it. He welded it.
Well,
Okay.
everybody has to learn from somebody, even the greatest, right?
Hmm.
You're not born knowing this stuff.
And the cost is only €6, and it's free on Sundays.
Good to
Um,
know.
and like many museums around the world, I have found this one's closed on
Hmm.
Mondays, but it's usually open
Yeah.
from 10 to 7.
Yes, always check. If you're here on a Monday and you're not here all week, I mean, there's probably some smaller museums that might be open, but definitely the bigger ones do tend to follow that kind of
Right.
schedule. So keep in mind, yeah. And then we have the del Carmen, which shockingly is in El Carmen. Is this
Yes.
also the CCCC, or is it the like how
Yeah,
do you
it's the
say that?
CCCC. Yeah, it's the Four Cs, the Central del
Okay.
Carmen. This is just down, just down a quaint little, little tiny little old city road from the
Mm-hmm.
IVAM. So it's a great little jaunt, and beautiful buildings. You come into this one, and this was an
So this is
old.
a hop. This is a hop, skip, and a jump
It's a
from
hop.
the other
It's just a
one. It's
hop.
a
It's
hop.
just a hop. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a massive architecturally. It's a massive 13th century royal monastery, which is in of itself a beautiful place to be walking into. So it's a Gothic cloister and has a sun-soaked Renaissance courtyard. So again, you've got these beautiful areas to enjoy the art, which I love, love, love.
Right. And what's amazing about this one is this is also very modern art, and it's much more experimental and avant-garde, cutting edge type art. And the exhibits are kind of rotating. And so when we went to it, and might still be going on, but it doesn't matter because this is forever, this podcast. So
It'll become again.
it'll come
Yes.
again. But they were having what I really loved about the exhibit we saw, there was a graffiti artist exhibit. So all these graffiti
Oh,
artists were
great.
representing things. But what was really interesting, and I took my daughter to for her to think about her future, is they were showing graffiti artists their work and then how they monetized it into careers. Whether they were worked for a skateboard company, and one person was designing t-shirts, and
Mm.
another one was designing like housewares, and then they went back into graffiti art because they wanted to go back into the life of protest movements and stuff. So it was very
Okay.
interesting to see how this museum was celebrating the artists, and then how they could turn their passion into a lifestyle to
Okay,
into
we
a
we
career.
will we will just skip the fact that you're encouraging your daughter to be a graffiti artist and move on
Not
to the
what I
fact.
said. It was showing how artists can make money, is what I was saying.
Oh, that was the part you were trying to teach. Okay,
Yes.
got it. No, it's very important. I will say, as somebody that went to art school and did that, it is a very important element of learning of how to turn art, which is very difficult to monetize, into a career.
Hmm.
It's very important. So I'm glad you're teaching her that. And the good thing about this one is it is free at all times.
At
So
all
this is
times.
like you said, check what's on the schedule because it's not going to be the same thing all the time. So check
Right.
what's there and see if that's something that appeals to you. And similar schedule, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., but also closed on Mondays.
Right, right. And yeah, it's a wonderful one. So I think what
Mm,
next we're going to do is we're going to cross the Turia for a moment. This is the one
okay.
museum that's outside of the city core, but just across, just across the river. We're gonna head across and go to the Museo de Bellas Artes, which is the Fine Arts Museum, which is right next to the Royal Gardens that we've done a Poco a
Oh,
Poco
right.
about, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep. Which is that's a lovely area. So definitely try and do the Royal Gardens and listen to our episode on that because that is a lovely garden to walk around if you have the time and do the museum. That could be one day,
right.
seriously. So the architecture of this museum is a grand 17th century Baroque seminary. And that has which is one of those things that you kind of, if you're looking over rooftops and seeing Spain, these blue tiled domes that everybody loves, that we all love to
Right.
see as part of the skyline. This one has one of those. So a beautiful, beautiful building too.
It is beautiful. And it's Spain's second largest fine arts museum, but it is very small compared to like the Prado. So it's not like, don't get overwhelmed with that description because you can see it all in a relatively quick time.
Right.
And
But it does have more of our favorite Valencian artist, Sorolla, right? So if
oh
you're
yeah.
seeing a lot, that's what you're going to get here versus, the as beautiful as the Prada Museum is in Madrid, you're not going to get the expanse of his work. That's here. So, and beautiful work that it is.
Yes, they have Joaquin Sorolla's. They also have Velasquez's self portrait he did.
Lots of good things to see there. And that's also free. So,
Yes,
bonus.
it's always
that's
free.
and that's a huge bonus. I do
And
love a
again,
free
closed
museum.
Mondays and open 10 to 8. And
Mhm.
the area that it is, what I will say about that area as well is there is right down the street, there is like I think we've maybe talked about it in the show, but we've talked about it. It's the one like kind of thrift store is
Yes.
down the alleyway from there. So,
The
and it's in a
one thrift
neighborhood
store.
people don't
Yes.
visit. So there's a lot of great cafes behind the museum. It's a more
Hmm.
residential, true Valencian neighborhood. So there's a lot of great finds in cafes and stuff back there if you're off
And
the beaten path.
you're over by the university ish. Like this is where you're sort of at the end of where all the university buildings are over
Little
there.
bit,
Like
yeah, yeah, a little bit, yeah.
there's like a line of, even though the university is spread out throughout the city with different buildings, there is a big section there of a bunch of buildings. So there's quite a lot of university traffic over there. And if you have a
It's
kid,
not far from the Ben and Maclette area, which is kind of the
yeah.
bedroom community of the universities for
Yeah, so
sure.
if you have a kid in university here or something, or you're going to university here, you're going to be close to this particular museum as well in
Right.
this area. And the next one is visually, I think location architecture wise, I think just really clever and probably one of my favorites, because this is the um L'Almoina, is that how you say that?
Amonia?
Almoina Archaeological Center. And I'm going to let you explain the location because you do that so well, and then I'll explain a little bit of the architecture because it's fascinating.
Okay, so then you're going to take another bridge back over the Turia, and then you're going to come
Mhm.
into the old town. And this museum is right near the cathedral, so
Okay.
you're gonna come to it through there. What is really interesting about this museum is that you can totally kind of miss it, but in the courtyard that it is this like pool, like glass, like reflecting pool. And when you walk up
Mhm.
to it, you see that it's glass blocks underneath it, and it actually shows the museum down below. So
Which is
you're in,
amazing,
yeah, and when
right?
you're inside it, you see the light
You see
reflecting through the
up.
water.
So also inside, which is really cool, is you're walking on suspended glassways, which you've probably seen if you've ever gone to an archaeological museum of any sort. So you are suspended above everything so that you can see around and below you. And so it's a
Right.
really, really interestingly cool, between the blue sort of what you were explaining outside, and then the glass and the way things are suspended inside. It's a very interesting museum to go to.
Right.
It's kind of really a very architecturally interesting archaeological museum.
Yes, it is. It's all of those
Did I get that
things. Yes, you
right?
did. And unlike the other museums, this one is open on Mondays, and it is actually open every day of the week, and it's free on Sundays. And if you can't afford free, it's only €2 on the other days of the week.
So not bad. And just to be clear, you are going to see the stone ruins of a 2100-year-old Roman thermal bathhouse. That is
Right.
what it is there. Because in case we missed that part. Not
There
that it
was
matters. It's just a really cool building.
Yes, it is. I mean, and Valencia is one of those places that you don't really realize the history of here because they keep covering it up, and we've discussed that before in
Yeah.
other episodes that Valencia is very forward thinking. Unfortunately, they have destroyed a lot of things, but it's still there. But so I'll bring this up in another museum. But yes, underneath these city streets, there were Roman circuses and forums and things. And
Yes.
and now they're finding it when someone builds something. They're like, oh geez, we gotta halt construction, we gotta save a pillar.
Right. This is very true. And our next museum is, if you walk by this building, you feel like you're done. You feel like you've been to the museum and you're done. It's the
Right.
most like elaborate outdoor of a building, that like the facade of the building, absolutely beautiful. How do we get there from the archaeological museum?
So again, this one is not far from there as well. You go down a couple side streets, but it's a 10-minute walk at most. I think a 10-minute
Mm.
stroll. This is on the street that back in the day, not before COVID, was like the Fifth Avenue of Valencia that had Hermes and Louis Vuitton. And unfortunately, with COVID, all
Okay.
those stores closed. But
Mm.
now fancy stores are moving back into this street, and I forget the exact name of this street, but it is on that street. And yes, you're right. It is a palace. To me, I call it Valencia's Versailles, because when you walk inside, it is so over the top, and it is this. So we didn't even say what it is. It's the
Oh, hold
National
on.
Surrender.
Yes. I was going to say we didn't mention what it was. I was teasing it and then you carried on teasing it. I think unintentionally.
Unintentionally. So what we're trying to tell you here is it's the National Ceramics Museum,
But it's
but
so much more. I don't know why it has that name, to be honest. If you go, yes, there is a lot of ceramics, but it's like so much more,
you're
that
in awe
building.
of the rooms and the furniture, and then they have
Yeah.
like the carriages from back in the day when you walk in. Like that's why it's like mini Versailles. Like in Versailles, you have to spend three
Yeah,
days seeing all this stuff. This museum's got it all
exactly.
packed in, and it's the the over the top rococo stuff. And I feel like I'm sorry, I don't want to get in trouble by these museum people, but like it really does feel like the ceramics for the aftermath. Let's just throw
It
some
does.
cases of some bowls in it, and we'll call it a ceramics museum.
It's so true because you have all these rooms that are still exactly how they were. You're looking at furniture, you're looking at wallpaper and the way and carvings and the I mean just the
Right.
whole rooms, these beautiful rooms. And then outside, the carvings on the outside of the building are just like astounding.
Well, and the one thing is made
So
of alabaster. It's like this solid, this huge alabaster. The entrance is just
yeah, I mean
it,
the whole thing is crazy. I mean beautifully crazy, and I just highly recommend if you're exhausted, just walk by the building and come back to the museum later.
right.
Because you can, it's kind of, you are kind of in the middle of a lot of, you're very close to a lot of things there. So you might be close to it at some point without realizing it. So kind of put it on your map. And if you happen to walk by it, you can take that road instead. And
And then
very interesting.
and two of the highlights of the museum are they have some Pablo Picasso ceramics,
Hmm.
which is really
Unique.
cool. And the other thing they have in there is a fully tiled 18th century Valencian kitchen, and you peek into it, and the chef in me is like, oh, I want to cook in there. I want to go back in the olden timey days and cook in this gorgeous kitchen. It is
Really,
gorgeous.
yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful, and this
This
museum
one's
is.
it's a bit more expensive. It's €3,
Are you gonna?
but
I
totally
can
worth
help you.
it.
I can spot you if you need.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, we're going with the free ones. I'm
Mhm.
having come from DC. I'm like, I've got to pay, but the museums here are not very
They're
expensive,
not, and
and
it's free on
that's
Saturday
worth it.
afternoons and all day Sundays, and
Yes.
it's this one does keep siesta hours, so it's open from 10 to 2, and then reopens from 4 to 8.
Well, they have a lot of bedrooms in there, so people can probably
No,
go sleep.
ooh, just sneak in.
Have your siesta in there before they close the doors.
And now we are going to skip down the street, and right around the corner from this museum is the Hortensia Herrero Arts Center, which is one of the it's the newest museum in Valencia. It's
Hmm.
only been open for a couple years, and this museum is a modern art. It's her private art collection, and it's amazing. It's got Anish Kapoor and some Kiefer's Hockneys. It's amazing collection of modern art, but it's in an old palace that was a dump when she got it, and they've
Mm.
completely restored it. And it's kind of a museum in two. So you're walking around looking at all this modern art, but then they're also talking about the excavation of the building when they were refurbishing it to build a museum.
Uh,
So there's like for Islam, it was an Islamic palace, and then it was a merchant's palace, and so and
a
then
lot of history
and then
in
there's
there, and
Roman
then
ruins underneath. So you walk in the
oh
room and you'll
wow.
see, oh, that was the wall to the old forum, as well as this
That's
modern art.
very cool.
Yeah,
But then the art is in a modern area where they've created a modern gallery for the art.
no,
Not so much. It's kind of splattered around
it's
in.
in this palace, and there are modern areas where they had to build walls, right? So where walls weren't, they
Mm,
built walls. But then you'll
right,
be in a room and they'll be like, oh, we were able to save this like stained glass, and yet the rest of the room might
right.
have modern plaster, but like this is what this means. So it's you
A
get
bit
a
of a
sense
mix
of
and
space.
match. A bit of a
Yeah,
mix and match in that regard. And then they've, I'm sure, have put a lot of thought into how the artwork is displayed between all of that so that it all makes sense.
right. It does. And in case people don't know who she is the partner, owner, wife of the of Mercadona. So, and the Mercadona family, the people that own Mercadona, they are Valencian and they live here
Hmm.
and they support Valencia, and they are responsible for refurbishing many buildings here and bringing art and culture and promoting art and culture in Valencia. So We love them for that. So it's
Mm-hmm.
this one is expensive on Valencia standards, though.
Yes, €10.
Right.
Also closed on Mondays.
Those on
But
Mondays.
it does sound like you're getting 2 or 3 museums in one. You're sort of getting archaeological, architecture, art, a little bit of everything, I
You
think, in there.
And it is free on Wednesday afternoons. You have to make a reservation. So I will be honest, I'm the frugal dad, and we did do the free, and I think it was like we had to wait like 6 weeks for our reservation. I mean, we made it was 6 weeks out is what it was, but it was fine. And we did it, and no one was in there when we had our reservation. Like, it's very spaced out.
Yeah.
We weren't
So
crowded.
if you live here or you can plan ahead, totally worth it to give that a shot. Also, some of the museums, and I don't know if this is one of them, if you are a resident and you have your card, you can maybe get discounted prices. And I don't know if this would be one of them, but it might be.
This one isn't, but many museums and many things you do here.
Many
make
things
sure,
you do, yeah.
if you are a resident and you have a TIE card, bring it in because it can be free or heavily discounted, for sure.
Yeah. So I think definitely always worth a shot with that. And the prices are going up a little, from when I
Right.
first moved here, and some of the things that were free, you're now having to pay like €2. So it's still totally worth it.
Right.
but they're realizing there's a lot more people coming through, and they should be benefiting a little bit from that as well, I think. And it also helps manage the crowds, which everybody enjoys if you're seeing a museum, I think, to not be just, if anyone's gone to see the Mona Lisa, you're like, yes, please manage the crowds.
Right. Well, on that note, Tanya, I will say goodbye to you.
Goodbye till next time.
Until next time. Hasta luego.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Our Spain.
We really appreciate all the support we have received since we started this podcast.
Visit ourspain.com for transcripts to this and our other episodes, some exciting merchandise, and if you are so inclined, there is also a link to buy us a coffee, which helps support this fun endeavor.
And please follow us on Instagram and YouTube at Ospain Podcast. And don't forget to subscribe to us wherever you're listening.
It really helps us stay connected, and we'd love to hear from you.
Let us know if there's any topics you would like for us to talk about. Even though we are happy to talk about anything, we also want to make sure it's informative for you.
Exactly.